Welcome back to our channel. If you've been following our recent videos, you'll know that we've been closely covering debates surrounding transgender athletes competing on the San Jose State women's volleyball team. For those who've missed it, you can catch those discussions under our dedicated playlist, SJSU Women's Volleyball. Today, we're taking this conversation to the national stage as we explore how the issue of transgender participation in women's sports is playing a central role in the 2024 U.S. presidential race. We'll break down where the leading candidates, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, stand on the critical issue of how their policies could shape the future of women's rights in sports in America. Let's start with Kamala Harris. The Biden administration, with Harris as vice president, has been a strong proponent of expanding rights for transgender individuals, including their participation in sports. The administration's interpretation of Title IX includes banning discrimination based on gender identity and sexual orientation. However, this rule has faced pushback, with 26 states currently blocking its implementation due to concerns about impact on women's sports. Supporters argue that these projections are essential for ensuring transgender athletes can compete on a level playing field. Critics, however, believe that this approach may compromise the fairness of women's sports by allowing athletes who are biologically male to compete in female categories, which could create uneven competition. Now let's turn to Donald Trump.
Biden and the Democrats are even pushing policies that would destroy women's sports. A lot of new records are being broken in women's sports. Hate to say that, ladies, but a lot of new records. They're being shattered. You know, for years, the weightlifting, every ounce is like a big deal for many years. All of a sudden, somebody comes along and beats it by 100 pounds. Boom, boom. Now, young girls and women are incensed that they are now being forced to compete against those who are biological males.
He has made his position clear. If reelected, he plans to sign legislation that would ban transgender women from participating in women's sports. Trump argues that maintaining fairness in women's athletics is crucial and that these distinctions should be based strictly on biological sex. His stance has been widely supported by conservative groups and have influenced state laws across the nation that already restrict transgender athletes from competing on women's teams. Trump's viewpoint is rooted in preserving the intent of Title IX, which was originally designed to ensure equal opportunities for women in sports and education. He, along with many supporters, believe that allowing transgender women to compete in these categories could undermine the achievements of female athletes over the years. San Jose State's decision to include a transgender athlete on their women's volleyball team serves as a focal point in this national debate. It's a situation that encapsulates the challenges, both legal and societal, that come with balancing inclusivity and fairness in competitive sports. Depending on the outcome of the 2024 election, the policies governing sports at schools and universities could change significantly. Now let's add another layer to this discussion. Kamala Harris has also publicly supported providing transgender inmates with access to gender-affirming surgeries.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
During an interview at a forum hosted by the National Center for Transgender Equality Action Fund, Harris stated that every transgender inmate in prison system should have access to the medical care they need, including transition surgeries. In her words, "I worked behind the scenes to make sure that they changed the policy in the state of California so that every transgender inmate would have access to the medical care they desired and needed." This commitment is further supported by Harris's response to an ACLU questionnaire, where she pledged to use executive authority to ensure that transgender and non-binary individuals, including those in prison or detention, have access to comprehensive gender transition treatments, including surgical care. This stance has sparked controversy with her political opponents, like Donald Trump, using it in campaign ads to criticize her support for taxpayer-funded gender transition procedures for prisoners. In addition to her policies on transgender rights, Kamala Harris's 2024 presidential campaign has taken a strong stance in support of the LGBTQ community. Harris recently made a surprise appearance on the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, where she delivered a powerful message on the importance of voting and standing up for LGBTQ rights. Surrounded by iconic figures from the drag race community, Harris urged viewers to register to vote and reminded them that your vote is powerful. This appearance is part of a broader effort by Harris to engage directly with the LGBTQ community, emphasizing her commitment to fighting for their rights and freedom amidst growing legislative challenges. Her campaign has also featured ads that highlight her allyship with the LGBTQ community, reinforcing her long-standing advocacy As we approach the 2024 presidential election, the future of women's rights and transgender inclusion in sports remains one of the most polarizing issues in American politics. Now, we want to hear from you. What do you think about Kamala Harris's stance on gender affirming surgeries for inmates and her campaign focus on the LGBTQ rights? How do you feel about Trump's position on transgender participation in women's sports? Share your thoughts, opinions, and views in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell to stay updated on the latest analysis of the 2024 presidential race. We can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you next time.